Let's create a show-stopping, farm-fresh mixed media canvas with decoupage chickens and an air-dry clay rooster. In this fun and easy DIY tutorial, I'll show you how to create a truly stunning piece of mixed media art on a canvas. Hello there, my crafty friends. I'm Donna from Mason Creations, etc. and welcome to my channel. So go grab your supplies and let's get started making a mess. I'm using an 8x10 stretched canvas today. I'm going to prime it with a heavy coat of gesso. I'll make sure to get the top and the sides because I'll be wrapping my rice paper around the sides of the canvas. This will eliminate the need for a frame. Gesso gives your canvas a nice surface for paint or decoupage to adhere to. I'll let that dry for a couple of hours before moving on. This chicken rice paper is just so cute. It's so perfect for this rustic little farm project. I'm going to get it prepped and ready for decoupaging. I'm cutting off all the white borders of the paper. Normally you'd want to tear your edges, but I'm not going to be blending these sides, so cutting will be okay. My crafty friends Rita R. requested a mixed media canvas, and Melissa D. requested a mixed media project with a rooster, chickens, and chicken wire. Ladies, this video is for you. Enjoy! I'm using Polyvine's Decorator's Varnish as my decoupage adhesive today. You can use this product as a varnish and an adhesive. All the Polyvine formulas can double as a decoupage adhesive. It works so much better than the most popular brand of decoupage glue. It's not a glue, so it doesn't go on thick and lumpy. It's a varnish, so it dries crystal clear and will never yellow. This and all the products you're going to see me use today came from decoupagenapkins.com, my wonderful sponsors. I cut a piece of plastic from a Ziploc bag, sprayed it with some water, then laid it on the image and smoothed out any wrinkles or bubbles with a paper towel through the plastic. When doing this, make sure you always wet the plastic first or it will stick to your rice paper or napkin, pulling it off. I'm going to use a piece of rice paper that looks like wood. It goes so well with my chickens. I'm cutting the white edge off the top. As I'm getting ready to add this to my canvas, I realized I had forgotten to tear the bottom edge of the chicken paper. Look at what happens when I put the wood paper overlapping the chicken paper. Even though the wood is a dark color, you can see right through it. Rice paper is actually very translucent, but you don't realize it until you overlap them. So I'm going to have to remove that little bit at the bottom so they don't overlap. Okay, much better. Now I can continue decoupaging this paper to the canvas. I did all the same steps of adding the varnish, laying the paper down, and smoothing it with my misted piece of plastic. Now I'll let this dry for a couple of hours. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm going to wrap the remaining paper around the edge of the canvas. I'm putting some snips in the corners so the paper will lay flat. It's kind of like wrapping a present. I'm using Aleene's tacky glue for this process. It holds tight right away. I don't want to take the chance of the paper unfolding and springing back up. Decoupagenapkins.com has such a great selection of napkins that you can purchase one at a time. They carry many other craft supplies such as rice paper, paint, clay, molds, and a great selection of Polyvine products. Over 9,000 products and growing. They are wonderful to work with and will send your order out fast. You'll receive free shipping on orders over $75 and special bonus points for orders over $100. Subscribe to their newsletter by entering your email address, and you'll receive 10% off your next order. They are truly your one-stop shop for craft supplies. Make sure you check them out. I'll be leaving links for all the products I use in my description box below, as well as more information on the previously mentioned promotions. Please note that any of these promotions are subject to future changes. I'm going to seal the entire piece with a coat of Polyvine heavy-duty wood varnish in a satin finish. 2 or 3 coats of this gives you a beautiful shine that's moisture and high heat resistant, as well as high chemical resistant, high stain resistant, high abrasion resistant, and food safe. This works wonderful on any painted or decoupage surface or shiny surface that has been coated with Polyvine multi-surface lacquer. I let that dry for an hour between each coat and an hour after the final coat. I've had a few people ask me if this varnish has a strong smell. No, it does not. It's water-based, so there are no harmful fumes at all. It's only the solvent-based varnishes that have any fumes. Now here's how to get an incredible shine with the satin finish heavy-duty wood varnish. After an hour and my first coat of heavy-duty wood varnish is dry, I'm sanding with some fine grit sandpaper very lightly and wiping off the dust. This time I'm going to use Polyvine's varnish brush to apply the heavy-duty wood varnish. This brush is designed to eliminate brush strokes and leaves a beautiful self-leveling shine. You can do this same procedure more than once. Keep sanding and adding another coat until you get the desired shine. Just make sure you let it dry for at least an hour between coats. I'm going to add some twine where the 2 rice papers meet to separate them. I wrapped it around the board several times and then tied it off to hold it in place. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. You won't want to miss any of the new projects coming up, so don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to add some chicken wire trim in the middle of the wood rice paper. I wrapped it around to the back and glued it in place using a hot glue gun. I snipped off any of the wire hanging over the edges and added more glue because they're a little sharp. Okay, let's get out the clay and make a beautiful rooster. I'm using Joss clay. It's my favorite. It's so easy to work with, it's crack resistant, and has very little shrinkage when drying. I'm adding my clay to this amazing rooster accent mold. DecoupageNapkins.com has a new line of silicone molds, and this small white mold is part of their new accent mold series. They are quite reasonably priced and have such amazing detail. And there's quite a large selection to choose from. After pressing the clay into the molds, I'm scraping off the excess with my palette knife and then smoothing the clay out with some water. Then I'll put them in the freezer for 20 minutes. Freezing the clay makes it rigid so they just pop out of the mold easily. No tiny little limbs will break off. If you want to see an in-depth video on how to work with air dry clay, click the banner in the top right corner of your screen. I'll also leave you a link for that video in my description box below. Watch how easy this just pops out of that mold. There are some tiny delicate pieces that stayed intact. I let my clay dry overnight, and now I'm going to do a reverse antiquing on this rooster. I'm going to paint the entire casting, pentart light brown, and I'll let it dry for about an hour. Make sure you check from all angles to make sure you don't have any little white areas peeking through your paint. I test all the products that I recommend in my videos. I won't recommend anything that I haven't used myself and prefer. If I'm recommending it, you can bet it's a great product. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. I'm going to add some color to this rooster now, and I'm going to tell you these boys are really colorful. I'm a city girl and I've never seen a live rooster, so I had to look up some pictures. I was shocked at just how colorful they are. So here goes. These are the colors I'm using for this amazing rooster. Pentart paint in the colors yellow, yellow-red clay, dark blue, turquoise blue, red, cobalt blue, and natural buff. I'm putting a little paint on the tip of my brush, wiping some of it back off on the jar and then dragging it across all the high points of the rooster. I'm not disturbing the brown in all the lower areas. The brown is serving as my antiquing, which is giving this piece some depth and dimension with shadowing. I'm blending the colors over top of each other where they meet, which will make this look more realistic. Wherever I felt the paint wasn't vibrant enough, I just added some more. I'm working on some great spring projects right now. A lot of them are requests that I'm excited to be making. I love planning projects around your requests. Just please be patient. I get quite a few of them, and I get the projects out as quickly as I can. I love hearing about what you'd like to see, so keep those requests coming. I use a lot of pentart paints. They are one of my favorites. They go on smooth and creamy and have great coverage. They normally cover in just one coat. Today was a special case, painting over that dark brown, but they did a good job. Even their metallic paints cover in one coat. For the flowers, I used pentart paint in the colors leaf green, pine green, purple, mallow, rose, and gold. I get a lot of questions about how I clean my brushes after all the products I'm using. Everything you've seen me use today is water-based, so they will all clean up with soap and water. I use Speedball pink soap for brushes. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. It works really well. It seems to remove paint you didn't even know was still in your brush. I think you'll like it. Now I'll give the rooster a coat of heavy-duty wood varnish to protect my paint, and I'll let it dry for about an hour. I'm going to add some metallic wax rubs to the rooster in the colors Blue Lagoon, Mint Sparkle, and Firebird. I'm putting a small amount of the rub on my finger and rubbing it together with my thumb. Smearing it around like that prevents a large amount of your product ending up in one place. I love using wax rubs. They add such a pretty shimmer to your piece. And you guys know I just love shimmer. I used a brush to add the Firebird metallic wax so I could get into some tight spots. You'll need to clean your brush with mineral spirits since the waxes are solvent based. Everything else I've used today is water based and will clean up with soap and water. For the flowers, I'll add sweet rose and white pearl. The white pearl just brightens everything up a little bit. I'm going to use my mini bow dabber tool to make a beautiful bow for this project. There are vertical slits and horizontal slits. Add a thin cord or a small ribbon through the vertical slits. Then you can layer your ribbon back and forth in the horizontal slits, using as many layers of ribbon or as many different types of ribbon that you want to. After you have all your layers of ribbon, pull up the two ends of your small cord in the vertical slits and tie them together. You can then safely lift up your newly made bow. I bring the cord around to the back and tie it in a knot. Now you can add an embellishment to the center of the bow or another tiny bow. I just love this little tool. You can find this in my description box below in my favorite tools section in case you want to check it out. I'm using a hot glue gun to attach my bow to the left of the plaque on top of the twine and the rooster front and center over top of the chicken wire. I'm using an antiquing paste in the color soot. I'm going to add this around the perimeter of the canvas just to dirty it up and just stress it a tiny bit. I'm using my finger just like I did with the wax rubs. Don't forget, all of the wonderful products I'm using today can be found at my favorite place for craft supplies, decoupagenapkins.com, and I'll leave you links in my description box below. I've had this heart button in my stash for eons, so it's time to use it. I'm going to glue it in the center of the bow. I've added a link to a video that I think you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that video. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.